Sing it again. And here at Namaste, we feel some kind of way, something about. We say we love, we really love, we see you, we care. Be yourself while you're here. That's exactly what keeps me coming back. Lorenzo! Here at Namaste, we feel some kind of way, something about. We say we love, we really love.
We really do.
See you, we care, and be yourself while you're here. That's exactly what. That's exactly what. That's exactly what keeps me coming back.
What about you?
Well, that was fun. So good afternoon, everyone. Glad you could make it. I'm Rev Bobby, the spiritual leader here at Namaste Center for Spiritual Living. So I'd like to just welcome you to our afternoon evening service. I swear the light just keeps changing every week, right? Days get longer and longer and longer, right? I know. We're past that longest night of the year into moving into longer days. Namaste is a radically welcoming community. We believe all paths lead to an awakening, and we're here collectively revealing that love is the nature of who we really are. So I'm going to invite you to read with me Who We Are, which we read every Sunday. So do that with me. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is love, truth, light, and peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we recognize that we are one. Namaste. So I'm really grateful that you could be here, whether you're online or here in this space, and I have a special announcement. Communities go through shifts and changes, and some things are a little bit more difficult than others. But I wanted to let you know that Kong will no longer be part of our music team. Yes. And I'm really sad about it, and I can honor the fact that it's something that is sad because he really brought us through a very, very difficult time. And I'm really grateful for the service that he gave to this community. It really moved us. He started about 7 months before we went into the pandemic and really served at a time that was really challenging. And in some ways, we still are working through challenges because of the fact that we're continuing to move through a time in which people are not necessarily returning, new people are coming in. We're looking at a collaboration. There's a host of things that are unfolding as the community. I'm not going to talk about the reasons why up here. If you have questions for me, please ask me after service. Just hold him in prayer. He's really had a very challenging time like the rest of the planet. And so we honor the service that he's given. And in the interim, I just want you to welcome Lena into the music team, and Des will be our co-leads for now. Very excited to see what they offer up over the next series of months, that which we will continue to, move in and out. I have no idea. Does anybody know what's going to happen? I'm so glad I'm not alone in that one. But I will say this, trust in the mystery. Trust in the mystery. And holding peace, knowing it's always part of our experience, and change is part of that experience, and we either get to surrender to it, or we can resist and fight against it. And I think I'm going to choose the prior of what I've said, because that is really the one constant of life. So again, if you have any questions about that, please visit with me after service. In the meanwhile, I just invite you to enjoy the amazing talent of the music team of Lena, Des, and Lorenzo, and let's just enjoy what they have to offer today. So thank you.
You can stand up, sit down, dance, crawl, whatever you'd like to do to this one. Here we go.
Lorenzo's going to be singing from now on. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind
Sing with us.
stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah.
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 Oh, well, I'm walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on freedom. Oh, yes, I'm walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on freedom. I said I'm walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on freedom. Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Woo!
Ain't no harm in keeping your mind stayed on spirit. Ain't no harm in keeping your mind stayed on spirit. It ain't no harm in keeping your mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
One more time. Woke up. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Oh, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. One more time.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Oh,
Bring it home, Des. Come on.
hallelujah. Yeah.
Woo. I'm going to say amen.
Oh my goodness, that was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm also going to say the same thing that Lena said, which is it's my first time up here as practitioner on platform. So thank you. So take it easy on me. First thing I'm going to do is invite our beloved Valerie down. She is the minister support today, and she's bringing our candle to the altar, and that is the light that dwells within each one of us. And this candle will stay lit during our entire service. Thank you, Valerie. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to read our affirmation together. There is only one life. This life is God's life. This life is perfect. This life is my life now. And I'm going to say, let us pray. There is one divine power and presence, one source from which all emanate. Spirit is the harmonious presence and power in which everything expresses. I am and we are unique expressions of Spirit itself. In Spirit, all unfolds in divine right order. Our music team sings the songs as Spirit, and Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson speaks the words as Spirit, as we come together for one common purpose, to open the way for a greater expression of God. And so it is. Amen. And next, I'd like to invite Tori Sina, who is our Board of Trustee on duty, and she is going to share some announcements.
Hello, everybody. Before I get going, hello. I would like everybody to stand up, say hello, give hugs and welcomes, especially if there's somebody you haven't seen before. Let's welcome everyone. What a beautiful sight that is. I hate to bring it to a close, but there's always time after service. Hi, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and just run through some announcements. My name's Tori Sina. I'm on the Board of Trustees, and I want to go ahead and have us read this together, if we could. We are a joy-filled, loving center of spiritual growth. We create transformative connections and build bridges of unity for an all-inclusive humanity. We are Namaste. So I'm sure you guys have seen this before. Just want to reiterate. Here's what we do. We awaken. Hold on one second here. I'm going to move this down. We awaken to a new truth in our lives. We realize how that truth is played out in our lives. We then take our new knowledge and transform our lives, and then we repeat this process in our lives in new ways. Our power statements are: we are a place of connection, healing, and unity. Hashtag we are Namaste, and hashtag most importantly, this stuff works, okay? So I want to run through to our spiritual practices, which our spiritual practice on the weekdays, 7 a.m., Monday through Friday. I know I've spoke this before, but just in case you didn't hear, it's a wonderful way to start your day. Just kind of get jump-started, and because the world comes at us, so it's really nice to have that base to start your morning. And it's a different practitioner every day, and it's a beautiful time. Secondly, there's a Safe Place. It's a grief support group. It's an ongoing hour-long grief support group every second Wednesday at 7 p.m. and fourth Monday at 10 a.m. And they create the Safe Place to support grief from life events, which we know happen, the changes they bring, which we know happen, and to find comfort in community, which is why we're here. Register on Eventbrite and look within our newsletter, website, Facebook page. They'll all have the link. And let's see where we are here. I love this little computer. Okay. Visioning our beloved community. It's going to be the first Wednesdays from 7 to 8 p.m. on Zoom. Let's see what information I have here. You're going to join us as Namaste and Seal Beach vision together for our beloved community. We'll utilize the life visioning process to help us see the highest expression of our new center. We're going to go, you can go to the newsletter to register on Eventbrite. This is a private event, so you must register on Eventbrite to receive the Zoom link, and there's no fee for this gathering. And it looks like next Sunday we are going to have beloved Jesse Keeler, our practitioner here, and he's going to be talking about what lies beneath the surface. That's next Sunday. Oh, I'll definitely be there for that. And also, Namaste and Seal Beach will have a collaborative service. I have a funny feeling you might hear this more than once today. That's my guess, but service will not be here on February 19th. We will be at Seal Beach. Oh, wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. Nobody called me out? I was really seeing to see if anybody checked. Oh, wow, that was a close one. Check that. We are meeting here in our collaboration with Seal Beach at 4:30 at Namaste. I love it. I love it. And thank you to all who said yes to being on an exploration and discovery team. Teams met last Sunday for the first time, and the room was a buzz. And now for one more big thank you. Oh, no big thank you? How about to everyone? Got up, got dressed, showed up today? I will tell you that as you walk through the door, you change the energy. You bring something that's unique and special to this community, and I thank you for that sincerely. And that will be it for Tori. Take it away, folks.
Power of now is always present, nowhere to be. And where you are, the power of now flows so gracefully. Power of now is always perfect, nothing to be than who you are. The power of now flows so easily, and be willing to let go of everything you think you need to know. Oh, be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. For everything goes away. Let everything wash away. The power of now. connecting us all to the one, the power of now unfolds so peacefully, peacefully,
and be willing to let go of everything you think you need to know. Oh, be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. For everything goes away. Let everything just wash away in the power of now. The power of now. The power of now. Power of now.
Wow. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, this week we are celebrating life as source. And it just so happens that I have a story about that. So, take a second and think of your favorite meal, and then top it off with your favorite dessert. And for me, my favorite dessert is a slice of warm peach pie with vanilla ice cream, right? I mean, yeah, it's good. So yummy. Imagine that. So you've polished off your favorite meal and your favorite dessert, and you're feeling kind of uncomfortable. You're like, what's that uncomfortable feeling? Well, it's probably your pants. Because, you know, they're tight and snug. And why are they tight and snug? Because your stomach's growing. So that's kind of how I feel right now. Speaking in front of you has required a lot of growth, which means I've never been more uncomfortable than right now. Fun. And the funny thing for me is when I get uncomfortable, guess what happens? I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I sweat. It could be 30 degrees in the room, and I'm sweating profusely. And the practitioners that trained me will tell you that. Whenever I had to say a prayer, at the end of it, I needed to change my clothes. So I've done a lot of growing lately because I decided to become a licensed practitioner. And for me, the most important thing that I learned and now know is that it's never me just doing anything in life. As part of the one source, one life, I have at my disposal everything I need. And when I first heard about I'm one with Source, it seemed so big and far off. It seemed out of reach, you know, the macro level. And I couldn't figure out how it applied to me on the micro level, my life. So I'm going to tell you a quick story about how I realized that. To become a practitioner, you go through 2 years of training, and then you have to sit in front of a panel, which is people that you absolutely have never met before. And it's a minister and 2 licensed practitioners. So the day of the panels arrive, I show up here with my student mind. I'm nervous, I'm sweating again. I'm anxious. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to answer the questions? How am I going to pray? How am I going to do this? After 2 years, I still couldn't figure out how am I going to do this on my own. And people are arriving, loved ones and my fellow practitioners. And one of the community members, who was a family member, she came up to me and walked in the room and she said these 5 words to me. She said, "God is all over you." And that's when it hit me. I felt it. It was like a warm caress, and it permeated into my being. And that's when I knew that I am always one with Source. And she knew it for me when I couldn't remember that for myself. So that's what I know now, and that's how I'm able to do anything in life. And on the micro level, it's friends being supportive, it's the love, it's everything that has brought me to today. Because I didn't do any of that by myself, even though I thought I did. And being connected with Divine Source enables me to do that. So that is on the micro level for me. So there's always plenty, and Source is that plenty. And when we're not sure, we have to remember that we're one with this Source, we're part of a team, and the team is so big it includes the entire universe. Can you imagine that? Like, talk about an epic backup team is the universe. And we can achieve everything and anything we desire. So knowing this, I feel like celebrating. So let's celebrate life as Source, always creating, always responding, and always saying yes. Thank you.
I'm sweating too, just so you know. This is kind of a newer song, probably for you. When I say the word love, you say love. When I say first, you say first. I'll lead you to it. Don't have a job, don't pay your bills, won't buy you a home in Beverly Hills, won't fix your life in 5 easy steps. Ain't the law of the land or the government, but it's all you need. Ready? And love will, hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm. And I'll be my sister's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone. And love will hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm. Oh, and I'll be my brother's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone. It's waiting for you, it's knocking at your door. In the moment of truth, when your heart hits the floor, and you're on your knees, ready, and love will hold us together. You can get up and dance. Make us a shelter to weather the storm, and I'll be my sister's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone. Here we go. And love will, yeah, hold us together. You're so awesome. Make us a shelter to weather this storm, and I'll be my brother's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone. First, this is the first day of the rest of your life. This is the first day of the rest of your life. 'Cause even in the dark, you can still see the light. It's gonna be alright.
Yeah.
It's gonna be alright. One more time.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first day of the rest of your life. This is the first day of the rest of your life, yeah. 'Cause even in the dark, I can still see the light. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Like Bob Marley said, yeah. Everything's gonna be alright, child. Everything's gonna be alright.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Nobody
Everything's
gonna
gonna
cry.
be alright.
Alright.
Everything's gonna be
gonna
alright.
be
Sing with
alright.
us. Everything's gonna be
Gonna be
alright.
alright.
Everything's gonna be alright. And love
Love.
will hold us together. Make us a shelter to weather the storm. Oh, and I'll be my brother and sister's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone. You guys, woo, so awesome, so awesome.
That's a great song. Well, I think that if you've stopped sweating a little bit now, you should be, we're good to go. Yeah. There's a lot of sweating going in the room. I think I'm part of that a little bit. I just want to thank you guys for stepping up today. Thank you so much for all you do. So it's not that this is a surprise, but we have Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson in the house. So I'm going to give him a chance to see you now. There you go. So everybody wave. Hello. So Reverend Dr. Ray, he's been here before. He and I have been talking for a while, and he was sort of the impetus for, I would say, Namaste to step into what's possible for spiritual community going forward. Yes, you. Yes. He has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man and a visionary new thought leader, for sure. Because when he steps out and talks, everybody listens because it's something that resonates with who we are inside and who we are as potential and who we are as community. You know, I've seen his resume. He may not know that, but it's quite clear to me that he came here to play big on the planet. His journey has been anything but ordinary, and he's quite a library of stories to tell. And I remember the quote that, by the way, everyone remembers from the last talk. Does anybody want to tell me what that is? There's no spot where God is not. And I have been hearing that ever since you were here. He's a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation. If he gets sort of translated or transfigured in this next hour, it would not be surprising to me. He's a teacher, a minister, an author, a visual artist. He's an ASL performing artist. Some of you might really take beautiful heart to that. There's one in the back of the room at least. He is a father and a grandfather. and more. He gives people applicable tools and practices that enable them to live a more fulfilled life, recognizing, realizing, and materializing their full potential. I am so excited to bring back Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson.
Wow. Wow. So, yes, well, hey, namaste. Greetings once again, and Happy New Year, and Happy New You. And thank you, Reverend Bobby, for the invitation to return. And if you are all ready, like, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. So, we're talking about this thing, celebrating life as source. And so if we're really going to do that, we're going to do it effectively. I want us to start off with understanding 3 important things. Number 1, let's start with the idea of, well, what is life? I mean, if we're going to celebrate life, if I'm going to eat peach pie, I need to know what peach pie is, right? Like, I need to know what life is if I'm going to celebrate it. And then, well, what does it mean to celebrate? What is a celebration? Wait a minute. Why do we celebrate anything? Right? So that's number 2. And then, of course, if we're celebrating life as source, well, what is source? Okay? So it's important that we sort of like have a grounding in what these 3 things are. So because this is already your affirmation, and you just, said it not too long ago, we're going to just go ahead and jump into number 1 and 3 immediately. Life, source. There is only one life, and that life is God. That life is source. That life is perfection itself. And that life is you, and that life is your life right now. Breathe and take all of that in. Because that's right there saying there is no separation between what life is, capital L life, and lowercase l life. In the same way that if I were to say water, H2O, there is the grand scope of what water is. But if I have an individualized glass of water, they're the same thing. It isn't somehow that H2O and H2O are somehow different. It's the same thing. So that which is the infinite, the absolute, the one mind, the one life, what it is as the absolute is exactly the same thing it is as each one of us, living, moving, and having its beingness in this individual expression. Breathe. Because if we're really going to, celebrate this idea, then we really, really, really want to embody what it is we're celebrating. In the same way that I'm sure, and I'm not going to say any names, but, you got my mouth watering with the peach pie thing, wink, wink. So there's this, if I'm going to celebrate the opportunity to eat this peach pie, and of course the ice cream with it, if I'm going to celebrate this, then I embody it. I imbibe it. I make it part of myself. I don't just sit there and look at it like, ooh, that's peach pie. That looks rather tasty. And just stare at it. Why would one do that? If you're going to bake it, I'm going to eat it. If we're going to live this thing called life, then why not live it fully? Celebration. Celebration, this idea, it is a verb coming from the etymology that means to assemble in order to honor something. We come together to honor. There is also this etymological idea of it is coming together to sing praise, and it is practiced often. Birthdays, practiced often. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, practiced often. Namaste, Sunday service, practiced often. Meditation, practiced often. Eating peach pie. Oh, sorry. Not as often as I would like, but pretty often, right? It's this idea of how do we enjoy life? How do we sing the praises of life? How do we honor and recognize as an often done practice to commemorate and honor this demonstration of joy and gratitude, to make widely known this praise and glory. To make widely known. So we don't just celebrate in isolation. I mean, there have been times in my life that, having a birthday, I was the only one there. It was not very much fun. I like having people there to laugh and sing and, I don't want to eat the whole cake by myself. I could, but I don't want to eat the whole cake by myself. We do this thing called New Thought in order to transform the world, which means we must make this widely known. We must bring this praise, this joy, this glory, this honor into the world. So today we are asking ourselves, am I a celebrant of life? Am I someone who celebrates this divine expression of life? My individual life, the collective life, the divine life. Do I celebrate it? Now, if you are so willing, I feel like I should play the Mission Impossible song, but we know it's a mission that is possible. If you are willing, I would like us to challenge ourselves, at least in this upcoming week, but we're going to start today by looking a little bit more deeply at this passage that Ernest Holmes gives us in the volume 1 of the extension study course. And he says on page 140, God is all in all. God is our whole being. There is nothing else. Breathe. There is nothing else. There is only God sitting right there in the pew with you. There is only God that is the pew you're sitting on. There is only God that is the saxophone that was being played. There is only God that is the saxophonist. There is only God anywhere, everywhere, all the time, ever present. So those moments when I'm nervous right here. I done broke into a sweat. It's God sweating this divine opportunity to show up in praise and honor of itself. Breathe and recognize there is nothing else. Holmes goes on to say, so close is this union of creation with the Creator. So close is this union with us and as it and all that is. It is impossible to say where one begins and the other leaves off. In the same way that if I take a cup of tea and I pour coffee into it, are you able to clearly differentiate where the coffee begins and where the tea ends? No, they blend as absolute oneness. You blend in through and as the absolute oneness of all that life is. There is no separation. Breathe. We may be familiar with this text called the Judeo-Christian Bible, and there's this passage in Genesis that says the exact same thing that Holmes is saying, but it says it this way. And I'm doing the gender-neutral version. God created humankind in its own image. In the image of God, God created them. Each one of us must be made in the image and likeness of that which is love, because love is all there is. Each one of us must be made in the image and likeness of joy, because joy is all there is. Each one of us must be made in the image and likeness of life itself, because that's all there is. So when you look in the mirror and you want to, be upset about that gray hair that's growing, well, sometimes it's in the nose, but wherever it's growing, and you want to be frustrated about wherever it is, whatever it is, there's only God, and that's God growing a gray hair. Those moments when, the musicians are playing and you're clapping, but you realize I'm clapping off beat and you want to criticize yourself. Pause and breathe and recognize this divine rhythm of God. I am a drummer beating my own drum to my own rhythm, and it's still divine. Do not judge. Do not criticize. There is only love, joy, peace. Whatever it is that God is, because Holmes reminds us, whatever is true about it is true about you. Does a cat give birth to a cow? If it did, it would be in the Guinness Book of World Records. Does a duck give birth to a shark? No. Follow the rhyme and reason of this. We are created in the very image and likeness of that which is life itself. We are creativity creating. We are harmony harmonizing. So let that sink in for a moment. Because if we're truly going to celebrate life, and I mean truly, then we are really invited to take a deeper embodiment of what this means and then show up and show out as a 21st century New Thought Good Samaritan. Because we do not do this in isolation to be like, I'm doing my practitioner stuff all by myself. I'm singing a song all by myself. Reverend Bobby doesn't say, I'm doing a Sunday message all by myself just because I'm by myself. Like, we do this so that we can be in community. Community does not exist as a body of one. Because if I show up on Sunday in a room and I'm up on the pulpit and I say, good morning, everyone. And then I run down and I sit in the pews like, good morning, Reverend Ray. And then I run back up and say, how's everybody doing? And then I run back down. Somebody would come to take me away. Right? Because they're like, that's not normal. That's not normal. We are meant to do this thing in community, to commune, to communicate, to take communion with love and joy with one another. And that means showing up in the world, to show up when people are grieving, to show up when people are frustrated and fighting, to show up as the very embodiment of all that we know. Like I said, as a 21st century New Thought Good Samaritan, breathe, because that means having a new level of courage, a new level of willingness, a new level of asking, wait a minute, pause. How does this whole idea show up in my life? How does this idea of love, joy, celebration, how does it show? Do I think small of myself? Do I ever think, I'm not good enough to sing. I'm not good enough to do this. I'm not good enough to be a practitioner. I'm not good enough I'm not good enough. I'm not something enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not svelte enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not something enough. I'm not straight enough. I'm not something enough based upon somebody else's standards. Pause and recognize, though, how could I not be enough when all is incarnating itself as me? And we know that because it's all in all, what's true about me is true about you. Where is the space to think small about ourselves? Where is the space to criticize ourselves? Where is the space to judge ourselves? We are invited to a new level of saying both and. Right now, what I am feeling is unskilled, and I know that because I am life itself, incarnating itself as me, and I am a celebrant of it, I am more than capable. This is what I feel, but I am more than capable. Hold the space. Don't just dismiss it. Don't bypass it. Don't malpractice it. Hold it and recognize it is a feeling, but it need not be acknowledged as my truth. Breathe, because there is no room for this idea of self-incrimination, criticism, condemnation. There is no space for that when we are really moving into what it means to celebrate life as source. If I am God, I am an individualized expression of the one. Then what does it mean for me to celebrate myself? What does it mean for me to celebrate all that I am here to be and do and share in the world? What does it mean for me to unapologetically, audaciously shine my light? Regardless of what the naysayers, there are going to be people who are going to criticize. People criticize the Dalai Lama. But he's the Dalai Lama. What has he done wrong? Like, it's the Dalai Lama. And people criticize. And so if I embody their criticism, then it becomes a reason to, I'm not celebrating. Look, listen, when I was a kid, celebrate the birthday. Woo, Woo, I'm 10. Yes, 10 candles. Oh, can't wait till there's 18 of them. Ooh, I'll be an adult. By the time you hit 40, it's like, whoa, wait, whoa, that's a lot of turn this spring fire thing's gonna come. Like we start to think, I don't want there's too many candles, too many ages, too many old, too many gray hair, too much, and we turn it down. Oh, I'm 56. I'm going to celebrate till I'm 356. I'm going to celebrate every morning. I'm going to celebrate every breath. I'm going to celebrate every slice of peach pie. Why? Because I am the divine, living, moving, and having its beingness in, through, and as this. Why would I not celebrate? Now, part of the idea of celebration was there's this daily or not occasional, but always ongoing practice. So let's pause and think about, where do we already do something natural? We brush our teeth. Did you really just say teeth? We brush our teeth, right? We comb our hairs. Since if I'm going to do it with one, I may as well do it with all. We wash our bodies. Anyhow. We do these things as regular daily practices. Why not envelop and incorporate and understand that, wait a minute, if I am life living itself, I am sourcing itself, I am love loving itself, I am breath breathing itself, then what do I possibly do that is not a spiritual practice when I bring my realization to it? Commuting to and from namaste is a spiritual practice the moment I recognize that that's what it is. This whole thing with being virtual is a spiritual practice the moment I recognize that that's what it is. You are God, I am God, we are all the divine gathering together. How could this not be, every aspect of it, something to celebrate? Breathe. Because once again, we are invited to step in at a completely new level, because Fannie Lou Hamer reminds us, never forget where we came from and always praise the bridges that carried us over. She is reminding us to celebrate the legacy of people who helped to bring us where we are. People like Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Celebrate because everything that he gave as legacy is yours now. Elie Wiesel, everything he taught about being a Holocaust survivor is yours now. Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Bell Hooks, Grace Lee Boggs, Harvey Milk, Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, James Baldwin, Maya Angelou, and countless others. They are the shoulders that we stand on now. Why would we ever not have reason to celebrate? Why would we not have reason to move out into the world? Why would we not educate ourselves, elucidate ourselves, illuminate ourselves to this idea? There is only one life, and that life is God living, moving, and having its beingness in, through, and as me right now. And because that's what is now mine to do. There's a practitioner in Asheville, Charlie Shepard, who always says, he wants to make a bumper sticker out of it. You're God, now act like it. You are life, now show up as it. It does not matter what we think we don't have. It does not matter what we think we need to learn. We are the all in all, living, moving, and having its beingness right here where we are now. Our intellectual life, our emotional life, our spiritual life, the life of our relationships with others, friends, family, our relationships with nature. Frank Lloyd Wright said, I believe in God, but I spell it nature. What is our relationship with nature? What is our relationship with money? What is our relationship with our own selves? This idea of there is life everywhere we look, everything we touch, everything that we see, there is life, and life eternal. This is one reason why, when people make their transition or whatnot, for me, and this is me, I always remind myself first and foremost that there is no death. Life cannot die. We can use the word, but life cannot die. Life moves on. Life changes. So when my mother made her transition, she moved from life into life after life. Whatever that means, that's where she went. She's not lost. She's not gone. The all that all is always right here, right now. Breathe. This is another reason why when, and the doctor was, concerned, like he thought I was ignoring him, because in December I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And the doctor was like, oh, and I was like, okay, I hear you. And he's like, okay, you're not responding the way, did you shut down? No, I hear you. And yet, right? There's that, and yet I am anchored to this teaching. And this teaching says, yes, there can be fear. Yes, there can be anxiety. Yes, there can be that. And yet I am a celebrant of life. I am not going to celebrate what you think I should be afraid of. I am not going to celebrate what you think I should be worried about. I celebrate life. And life is God. Life is source. Life is here right now. And in celebrating this right here and celebrating this right now, we come back to Fannie Lou Hamer, who said, nobody's free until everybody's free. As a 21st century new thought, Good Samaritan, what is mine to do to ensure that there are others who are liberated, emancipated, who are set free from the bondage and the confines of racism, sexism, homophobia, etc., who are set free from the confines and the bindings of gun violence and mass shootings? What is mine to do? I cannot celebrate alone and truly celebrate. I must celebrate in community. And where anyone in my community is, quote unquote, suffering, they're unable to fully understand and grasp what we know, then it is my invitation to move into that, my invitation to support them. So how do we breathe? How do we breathe? How do we step into a new level of celebrating life? How do we step into a new level of embodying life? How do we truly recognize how beautiful we are, how powerful we are, how enlightened we are? Because the moment we do, amazing things happen. Amazing things like what? A world that works for all. Breathe and embody and celebrate you. And so it is. Much love.
Breathe. I love that reminder. Absolutely amazing, Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson, and we are so grateful you shared your time with us and gave us such a powerful message, right? So grateful for what you do. I was thinking about what you were saying, and a Science of Mind quote that I've been playing with for a month, which is, nature will not let us stay in any one place too long. She will let us stay just long enough to gather the experience to the unfolding and advancement of the soul. We get to choose. But if we don't choose, nature will choose for us, just to help us along, and you seem like part of that, so thank you so much for all you do. Grateful. So with that, we're going to turn it over to our music team, and thank you, Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson.
Sometimes I'm wrong. Other times I'm right. My own beliefs are hidden in this song. 'Cause we got the butcher, the baker,
That's right.
the drummer, and band. But it makes no difference what group I'm in. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Sometimes I'm right when I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my soul. A butcher, a banker, a drummer, and then makes no difference what group I'm in. Sing it as
I'm everyday people. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
then it's a blue one who can't accept the green ones for living with the black ones, trying to be a skinny one. Different strokes for different folks. So on and shooby-dooby-doo. Sha-sha. We gotta live together, yeah.
I am no better, neither are you.
No,
We're all the same, whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you know me. Figure out what bag I'm in.
I'm everyday people. Sing that part. I
Tell me who you
am.
are.
'Cause I'm everyday
People.
All right, just the congregation on I. Ready? And
Everyday people.
that's too good not to repeat. Can we do it one more
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
Ready? And yeah, sing it. Everyday people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's different strokes and different strokes for different folks. So on and Scooby-Dooby-Dooby. Ooh, sha-sha. We gotta live together, yeah.
I'm everyday people. Yeah, yeah.
One more time, Des, lead us.
Come on, sing it. I'm everyday people. Let's try it. We are everyday people. Come on. Hey, are everyday people.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We ready and we are everyday.
Everyday people. Yes, we are. One more time.
We're everyday people. Bring it on.
Yeah. Every day.
Make me giggle over there, I tell you. Oh, I'm just so grateful. So this is the time of our conscious giving, and I'm just so grateful for Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson and his amazing message. I'm going to keep saying this, Ray, because it's so amazing what you do. He's still watching us, by the way, just so you know. So this is the time of our conscious giving, so let us just take this moment to be grateful. This is a new year, folks. How do we want to do it? We've had some great messages already this year. We've had Candace do her beautiful message, our first in-person service. And we've had Ray give his message this week on beautifully celebrating ourselves as Source, really. And I just want to honor that, and let's just take that gift that we are, the gift that we give as part of Namaste, just accepting that who we are and what we are is divine, that it is up to us. It is up to us to choose that that is the truth of who we are. For the work that we do is the consistent and constant revelation, the revealing of this truth, that God is all there is and God is us. And so in that gratitude for that, if you will just speak this affirmation, this prayer that we have today as you hold that gift. Speak that with me. I am one with the unity of all life. I give from this place of oneness. My abundance is anchored in that oneness, and I honor the oneness of others. I affirm this as true, and so it is. I'm going to invite Valerie Day to come up and go ahead and get our candle. This light that represents, we light this light at the beginning of our service so that we remember who we are and that what we're here to be and do. So as Valerie carries that light out of this space, the light does not get extinguished, for it is us. And we get to continue to bring that light into the world. And in that gratitude, I say thank you to our practitioners and Debbie Ann for bringing that beautiful message of you. And celebrating our music team and for them showing up so beautifully today. Wow. And our welcome team, as well as streaming and sound. I think there was double duty going on over here with Matt over here. Our welcome team that just beautifully welcomes folks in. Thank you for doing that. I also wanted to say a sweet and special thank you to the community for those of you that wrote such amazing tributes last week and provided those. I am truly touched by who you are and how you show up. And thank you for doing that. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning is there are prayer cards that are provided so that if you'd like to write a prayer and allow our practitioners to hold that prayer for you during this week, if you'd like one, Janine Cochran, you all know who that is. She's in the back, and if you just raise your hand, she will give you a prayer card so that you can fill that out and drop that off in the box for our practitioners. Raise your hand. Don't miss out on a chance to get a prayer this week. Really appreciate what they do. And I've got to step down and get a different mic. So you know what time it is, right? It's time to close this service up in a beautiful way where we anchor in our prayer, so I just invite you to stand. So this was kind of a tough week for me. It just was, for different reasons. But you know what's so interesting is between Debbie Ann's message, our amazing minister message from Ray, as well as these folks over here that showed up so beautifully, you can stop sweating now. Is it gone? Okay, okay. There's a real gratitude for that because that's life showing up. That's how we all show up in community no matter what shows up. We get to love one another through all this change, and that's everyone. And so life shows because we do. Life happens because we happen. And that's the beautiful principle of the fact that God is all there is. So I know that this is about life. I know that life is such a gift. And I know that we are life. So let's anchor in that in our benediction. What is happening right now?
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Thank you for surprising me. I forgot. What is it that it is right now?
It's
Oh, come on. Where is it? And? 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 What am I going to do with it? And? And? How? Now I know that this is your most favorite part of the prayer. Are you ready for it? And? Drum roll, please. Starting with those toes, experiencing that gratitude that is all part of the journey of life if we choose. So let that gratitude move up through your body. Embody that gratitude. Feel it as it moves up your calves and into your torso and up through your head. Find something to be grateful for. And with everything in you, speaking like you've never spoken before, say it with me. Ready? Thank you, life.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit.
Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Sing, come on. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this beautiful, beautiful day. This beautiful, beautiful day.
Thank you for my friend, Spirit. Thank you for my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you for my friend, Spirit. Thank you for my friend. My wonderful, wonderful friend. My wonderful, wonderful friend. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. My beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful day. This beautiful day. This beautiful day. One more time. This beautiful day. What a beautiful day.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day.